With the 25th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers and hosts for the 2025 NFL Draft select Jordan Morgan, tackle, Arizona.
Jordan Morgan could really play guard or tackle. Had an injury earlier in his career, was coming back from that this past season. A very athletic, smooth mover. You can watch him redirect when you're watching the video. You can see that athleticism. It really shows up. Here he is at left tackle. In the run game, there's a little bit of that upper torque, that upper power. That's not what he majors in. It's more about this right here. It's the quick-footedness, it's the athleticism, the ability to redirect, rework those hands, and create position. I didn't think he was a very violent, super physical player, but an excellent athlete who I think will benefit being another year removed from that knee injury.
He's a David Bakhtiari replacement.
Okay, Lance Zierlein, Jordan Morgan, not Guyton or Barton. How does he fit here?
Well, he's more experienced than Tyler Guyton, frankly, and he is a natural left tackle. He played left tackle over with Arizona. I thought his best football. He had a game against USC that I thought was tremendous in 2022, and then he tore his knee up at the end of the year, which he's still trying to come back from that knee. I didn't think he played his best football this year because you can see he's still trying to come back from the knee. But Jordan Morgan has a lot of talent, and he's experienced at left tackle. David Bakhtiari is gone. Tyler Guyton is inexperienced and has played primarily over there on the right side, so he'd have to make the switch to left. Jordan is more of a plug-and-play guy potentially right now, actually, than Tyler Guyton is. So I don't know if the upside is as high as Tyler Guyton's, but Green Bay, I think right here, they're banking on, they want to know the answer right now. They don't want to wait and find out if they got it right. I think they view Jordan Morgan as a safe left tackle.
And look, I think this really reflects how we thought about this offensive tackle class, the number of guys that have already gone. Jordan Morgan was the guy that we talked about potentially being on the line. First round, second round, he goes off the board, experienced player. Jordan Love, remember Jordan Love is in line to get the bag very, very soon.
Yeah.
With the 45th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker, Texas A&M.
And they're not saying Cooper either. What do you think of Edgerrin Cooper? Our first linebacker to go.
We got a linebacker, everybody. And this is
45.
And Edgerrin Cooper, I thought he was the best linebacker in the draft class. They have Quay Walker there, who's ultra explosive. This is the most explosive linebacker in this year's draft class here in Edgerrin Cooper. This is just against Alabama. This was the tape. If you want to see him at his best, you watch this one. Watch him fill in the hole, deliver a big hit. He was all over the field. Watch him key on the running back, show you that speed, that range. Chest up tackler. He's not going to go low. He's going to get you in a real physical tackle to finish. He can mirror quarterbacks. You play against an athletic quarterback in the NFL, he can spy him, he can mirror him, and he can track him down as he did against Milroe in that ball game. Time for Next Gen Stats, powered by AWS. You see the overall scores here when you're looking at the athleticism and the grades involved with these linebackers. He's right there at the very top, CD.
Yeah, and you mentioned the comparison there, right? Pretty good comp, right? How about a Devin Lloyd comp then? Because this is also the extra part of it is this Edgerrin Cooper player went from a freelance, do-your-own-thing guy at Texas A&M over the course of time of adding polish by getting into the film room, understanding the game better, understanding downs and distances, splits, what guards are going to do and what you can tee off on and see. Devin Lloyd went from a good player as a rookie to an excellent player in his second year, adding a little extra polish to his game. I really like this young man out of Texas A&M. There was talk about Dallas and him in the first round.
550 snaps of special teams with Cooper, so this guy can help out right away.
Team meets player. They want somebody inside next to Quay Walker, and this guy was just, it was kind of an easy call, to be honest with you, because Edgerrin Cooper is a player who is lightning quick. He is an aggressive striker. He can play sideline to sideline. He's a very good blitzer. And something I think is underrated that really stood out to me is he's a guy that can sit there in the middle of the defense and spy athletic quarterbacks. If you got a quarterback that likes to get a little frisky outside the pocket, Edgerrin Cooper will just stand right there and cause problems for you. So he did that with Jalen Milroe and had some success there for Texas A&M. And he's still getting better. I think sometimes he doesn't always see it as cleanly as you wanted to. But when you have this kind of speed that we're talking about, 4.4 speed, you can take a misstep. You can miss, your initial read. and that's makeup speed. We talk about makeup speed at cornerback, but there's also makeup speed at linebacker.
With the 58th
million people
in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Javon Bullard, defensive back, Georgia.
I'll tell you what, the Eagles better be careful because the Green Bay Packers are starting to collect more Georgia Bulldogs than they are. You think about the guys they have there with Quay Walker at the corner position.
Devontae Wyatt up front.
You've got Devontae Wyatt up front. They've got Eric Stokes at corner, his name I was looking for there. But this is, to me, one of the best nickels in the draft. Plays safety, but can also play underneath here in the nickel. I believe that's his absolute best position. You see the instincts there to undercut this route. Eyes on the quarterback. Very physical, taking on blocks, getting through blocks, filling in the alley, and able to get runners on the ground. You have to be smart. You've got to be versatile to play in this Kirby Smart scheme on the defensive side of the ball. Also, CD's an excellent blitzer. So, again, a lot of Georgia Bulldogs on this defense here for the Green Bay Packers.
Said Green Bay once Cooper was off the board, they traded back, and here's their safety. They want a smart guy. They want somebody who's intelligent that they can put on the back end, somebody with experience. And this is, frankly, a really terrific pick for the Green Bay Packers because you can do multiple things with him. He's interchangeable. He can step down to the line of scrimmage. He can play on the back end. He's more of a split safety, I think, in a nickel than he is a traditional. You're not going to run him as a single high safety very often, but you can really bring him around the line of scrimmage and let him really have an impact on what the defense can do to offenses. You want to put them on the back foot. We got all of these offenses that stick it to defenses. Sometimes you like to have a player that's a force multiplier inside the box, and that's what he can be.
Yeah, he certainly can do that. He's very versatile. When you look at the Georgia defense and how they deployed him and some of the other guys, they moved all those guys around. I feel like it's a rite of passage to be able to play in the slot before you play your full-time position. Javon Bullard is an instinctive player, outstanding player.
Okay, so the Green Bay Packers have made their second pick of the first round, pairing Javon Bullard with Edgerrin Cooper, who they took at pick number 45. So a couple of players to help out that defense with Jeff Hafley.
With the 88th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select MarShawn Lloyd, running back, USC.
All right, there you go. MarShawn Lloyd just went off the board. And, we were expecting to see him perhaps even sooner, but he's now going to Green Bay.
Well, I thought he's the best running back in the entire draft. Contact balance, patience, burst. The comparison in terms of the body type and play style remind me of DeAndre Swift. Joel, I believe you called this game against Colorado, watching him reverse field, showing you that vision as well as the burst. He ran 4.46. He can make you miss, and then he's got the ability to create a lot of explosives as well as get involved in the passing game where he shows you he's elusive and slippery with the ball in his hands. He's going to get a chance to go to the Green Bay Packers and pair up with Josh Jacobs. Aaron Jones is no longer there. This is a heck of a replacement. In my opinion, the Green Bay Packers just got the best running back in the NFL draft.
With the 91st pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Tyron Hopper, linebacker, Missouri.
Tyron Hopper, we didn't get a chance to see him work out there at the Combine, but at his pro day, gave us a 4.68 time and jumped pretty well, 36 inches. The production, so production here, 55 tackles, 3 sacks, plays off the ball. Best as kind of a downhill plugger. He's only 231 pounds, but he plays heavy-shouldered. He'll take on blocks. He really likes to get in the mix there. He does have some range to chase laterally, some speed there. Instinct-wise, I thought, okay, so in that department. I didn't put him in the elite category. I believe he's going to make his bones on special teams. And really in this draft class where we've talked about maybe the depth not being what it's been in years past. We have NIL, we have the COVID year. Finding guys from this point on that can contribute on special teams is going to be paramount.
Remember, Isaiah McDuffie is a backup there, special teams guy. Eric Wilson's been all over the league, special teams guy. They've moved in with Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker are your guys. So they're trying to replenish because Devondre Campbell, a longtime stalwart, no longer there.
I'm wondering if Packers fans are watching this draft and seeing how the Lions faithful is reacting to each one of those picks and putting in the memory banks for when they host the draft next year.
Of course they are.
The New York Jets have traded the 111th pick to the 4-time Super Bowl champion Green Bay Packers. With the 111th in the 2024 NFL Draft, the 4-time Super Bowl champion, Green Bay Packers select future Packers Hall of Famer, Evan Williams, defensive back, Oregon. Go Pack, go, baby! Yeah!
From Manchester, New England, welcoming in a kid from Oregon into the world here in Detroit.
I think it's
Evan Williams.
It's our third Duck already here in the fourth round.
Another defensive back.
Yeah, the round of the Oregon Ducks.
Fourth, by the way, fourth.
Ducks fly together.
Yeah, they are rolling here. When you look at Evan Williams, look, the production wasn't there from a ball production standpoint. No picks.
Didn't that surprise you a little bit?
Yes.
Because he's around it.
He's always there. He can play some in the slot. You'll see him as a blitzer. He'll beat up on running backs. I thought when you move him around, I liked him better down low. Closer to the line of scrimmage, I thought where he was most comfortable. And CD, when you look at what they've done here in the offseason, look at the draft as well as free agency, linebackers, safeties, they have tried to really fix the spine of that defense.
With the 163rd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jacob Monk, offensive center, Duke.
I almost don't want to talk about Jacob Monk and get into this.
I don't know if I want to see that or if I don't want to see
No,
it.
you definitely do.
Okay,
definitely
got it.
Jacob Monk is a 5-year starter and a 3-year team captain. Man, that's great stuff. Anytime you hear about a guy who's been a 3-year captain, it's pretty rare. It tells you what the team's going to love about him. He gets into the weight room. He's known as a weight room warrior. He's got that strength against teams who want to try to bull rush him. He's got the physical strength. I was telling Cynthia this. I was looking at the numbers. He had a 1.66 10-yard split. That's extraordinary for a 308-pound center. That's a really, really good quickness. He sometimes doesn't take it to people early. He takes the contact on first. When you have power like that, you need to make sure that you're using your force on the player first and not letting him get into you. He's a little bit of a leaner, a little bit of a reacher. The pass pro stuff can be a little shaky sometimes against athletic rushers. I think he's got a chance. I think he's got a chance for Green Bay to become a starter, but there's some work to do.
You know, Cynthia, we're in this selection right now. Well, we're on 164, but at 163 with Monk going to the Packers, they had traded with the Bills, moved up 5 spots to go and get them. Take me through the philosophy here at this stage of the draft to move up 4 or 5 spots just to target one player.
I mean, at this point, you're looking to find the people on your board. Some people organize their boards different ways. Some people only put the number of players that they want, and then they make the picks kind of trade out into what they need, which is what I suspect is happening, versus other people who are kind of using a best player available spot position, especially when you get into these later rounds. Sometimes they become a little bit more agnostic, but I think it's targeting and being specific about each one. And that is big. And by the way, my fun stat on Jacob Monk that I just looked up, this is the best interior player that Josh Jacobs will have had to run behind.
With the 169th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Kitan Oladapo, defensive back, Oregon State.
Watching Oladapo, I saw Jaquiski Tart all over again from when I studied him back in, I don't know, we're probably about 17 if I remember correctly. When 16, maybe even 15. It was a little while back when he got drafted, but I saw the same type of player, really good size at 6. Now this is the way safeties used to be built, 6'2", 216. They're not as big anymore. He's got good length. He's got very average speed. He's got very average athleticism, but he's extremely physical. I think he would have been a 4th-round pick except for the fact that he has an injury right now. He had a surgery, so I was told to drop him into the 5th and 6th as a projection, and that's where he ends up. But he's got the type of size that you love as a downhill hitter in a split safety approach for teams who like to play on the back end, 2 safeties. This is now a 2nd safety they've drafted, Cynthia. So basically now they're saying we're going to re-up, we're going to reload the cupboard in the second.
Yeah. Second, by the way, 2nd safety today, 3rd so far in this draft.
With the 202nd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Travis Glover, tackle, Georgia State.
Let's circle back here on Glover. Bucky, what do we like about him?
So what we like about him is we like his size, we like his length, we like the fact that he's going to be able to come in and compete. What the Green Bay Packers have been able to succeed for so years at doing has been able to develop these late round picks, and they eventually turn into starters for them. So he has enough of the core traits and attributes to be able to get on the field. It's not polished, it's not perfect right now, but what he has are the necessary physical tools that you hope in time with coaching he'll be able to hold his own on the perimeter.
Yeah, I really liked him. And Rasheed Walker, they did a nice job with him at Penn State. They think they've got a future starter over there right now.
With the 245th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select with a touchdown pass in Ford Field, Michael Pratt, quarterback, Tulane.
There we go.
All right.
They're trying to make Sean Clifford nervous.
Michael Pratt, deep ball accuracy. The comparison, you see it down there on the bottom. Look, Ryan Tannehill started a lot of games in this league, been a successful quarterback, and had some good years. So, to me, I like the way he throws the ball. Throws a beautiful deep ball, has that nice lofting touch down the field. There's times where his reset accuracy struggles. In other words, he gets moved off his spot, has to reset. That can leave him a little bit. This was the matchup against Caleb Williams in that duel in the bowl game after the 22 season, ended up leading that comeback, and they end up knocking off the Trojans. Charles, to me, this is a fun guy to develop late in the draft here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Rich talked before about what are you getting out of Michigan guys, and you're getting winners. Michael Pratt helped make Tulane a more than consistent winner, back-to-back AAC champions, and the Cotton Bowl against USC.
With the 255th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Kalen King, defensive back, Penn State.
So Kalen King had a little more hype before the draft process started, but then really struggled at the Senior Bowl. I thought he had a hard time covering some of the guys over there. Ran a 4.61 at the Combine, which
didn't help.
That doesn't help when you, in the draft process, when you run a 4.6 and you get done up at the Combine from time to time, that's a little bit of a problem. But when you look at his body of work, you see a solid body of work. Last year he was third team All Big Ten player. This year he was a second 10 All Big Ten player as well. So, there's some pedigree stuff there in terms of playing in a good conference and making all conference teams, but speed is a problem. If you run a 4.6, it's going to drop you at least one, maybe 2 rounds. Sometimes teams took him completely off the board.